What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the video today. So today we're going to do a little bit of Evo science, suspension science, and what we're going to be dealing with today is the offset caster bushings for the Evo 456. Now these are some bushings that go in the front arms. They have a lot of application for if your car, you're building your car for track purposes, things of that nature. You want sharper handling. So what the offset caster bushing is this right here. Okay, see how the hole is offset, so that's where it gets its name from. Now this bushing goes in the front suspension arm and benefits the Evo owner in a whole bunch of ways, so which I'll go over. So basically what you're getting from this, you're getting sharper steering response. What the offset caster bushing does is it pushes the front wheel forward, and what that creates is a few degrees of caster. So but it is very, very noticeable in the handling characteristics of the car. So this creates a bunch of things. What it does is it permits sharper steering response because of the caster added, where basically what's happening is the wheel is being moved forward in the wheel well. And what this also creates, which is a byproduct, which is cool for wheel and tire type people and the style sort of groups for Evos, is it creates more room in the wheel well. So moving the wheel forward, what that creates is it centers the wheel more in the wheel well. So looking at my drag car here, what that does is it moves the wheel this way. Now when you get bigger wheels and tires on your car, maybe you slam your car, the interference actually happens in here. So when you turn the wheel, it tends to bump into the inner wheelhouse. So what the offset caster bushing does is, because it moves the wheel this way forward, creates a little bit of extra space in here. So yeah, on a 5.6, what this creates is the opportunity for a way bigger tire and a wider wheel. So I would say that this is good in a bunch of ways. Increases handling, allows for a bigger contact patch with your tire. So what I'm going to do on this video is I'm going to edit in a bunch of video from some suspension build that I did a couple of years ago, because I'm not going to refilm the same content. And this will go over just the offset caster bushing install. And so for those of you that are looking for information on that sort of thing, here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna break down the offset caster bushing install for you guys, just so that there's no doubt how these things go together. There isn't much on the internet as far as directions for this stuff, so yeah, I mean, don't bother looking really. It's nowhere to be found, and I've done a whole bunch of sets of these. So let's take a look at the arms, and I'll explain exactly how these things go together. Okay, so here we have the arms in their correct alignment. So front of the car is that way. We have where the caster bushing rests, which is in here in this housing. And so if you can imagine, this is where the end link for the suspension is. This is where the ball joint sits. The wheel is out here. So now what we have to picture here is we have the offset built into the bushing. So what we're going to be doing with this, if you can visualize it, to increase caster, we would want this shaft to go in this direction, move in this direction. So imagine the wheel is here. If it moves in this direction, the wheel moves forward. That's what we want. So to achieve that, this is the bushing. See the hole there? So it's going to be installed like this. Okay, and that will allow the shaft to move that way. Now, the part that is forward, where there's a little bit of an extra bushing there, goes like this in the housing. Okay, and then that sleeve slides in there, and it's made to fill up that little relief there. So like that. So what I would recommend you do is you mark these bushings, put some marker here, okay, so that when you have this off the arm, you don't get confused. With these type of sleeved type bushings, once you push them in, if they happen to be in the wrong alignment, they're garbage. You're gonna have to cut them out. They're almost impossible to get out because of the interference fit. So you only have one try at this. So I would, before you pull the housings off the arms, I would mark it with a marker, however you want to do it, so that in your head you can keep it straight, which direction these are supposed to be. So when I put these together for the setup and I put them in the press, I'll show you how I mark it, and then at least give you an idea of what you can do, so that, because it doesn't matter if you use my method. What matters is if you use a method that you remember and you understand, so that this gets aligned properly. So yeah, I'll show you what I do, and then figure out with your own way of doing things, so that you don't wreck a set of bushings. Now, as far as the offset caster bushings, they are ready to go. I put on the mounting points for the end links for the sway bar, new ball joints, and then I mapped out the caster bushing. So I put a red line on the side of this. It goes this way, and I put a red line on here too. And so I'm just gonna line those red lines up in the press, and as well, I put a R for right side and up, if I somehow forget which direction this bracket goes, because this is going to be pressed right off. So and it's going to correspond with the R on the arm, and so you know, that's pretty close to idiot proof. I have messed stuff up before, and I don't underestimate my own ability to mess things up. So I mark things, bag things, I do all kinds of things. I write myself notes, take pictures. So do what you got to do. And on the other side, left side L, and again up. So I'm gonna remove those old bushings. So what happens is you hit this with an impact, this whole piece will come off, and this metal component is where you have to push the bushing out of, and then push these new ones in. Okay, so here's how I remove bushings, and how I do it kind of as painlessly as possible. Some people smash them out with a hammer, some people burn them out with a torch. I don't do either of those. So certainly you can do it the way that you want to. What I use is I use a drill. I drill around through the rubber. It makes a big mess, but doesn't damage anything. And then I knock out the center. And then what I do is I take a reciprocal saw and I cut a few notches on either side just to release the tension, and then I just knock the center out with a hammer. So this is what it looks like when you're done. Now you're going from this to this. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to push the center over, moving the arm forward. Okay. All right, so we got one down, got one more to go, and yeah, I'll show you how you install them as well. Okay, so our offset caster bushings are all set up. We have the metal sleeves through the middle. We have the bushings pushed into the stock housings. So let's take a look where we're at. So here we have our arms. Have our offset bushings greased up. And we have them marked. So this is right side up. And I know it goes this way with that larger part of the bushing sticking out. Okay, so the larger washer goes on first over the shaft. I'm gonna double check this is right side. Slide this on. Clean up some of the grease here, and throw this on. All right, that's the first one. Second one here, once again. Washer to retain the bushing because they're going to get squished, right? Double check the markings here. Right, so that's where we're at. You get a little bit of squish on the poly bushing, but that's why you have this washer that they include with the kit, so that the bushing doesn't tear over the arm. And this part here, Again, it's retaining the bushing. You can see that the fastener is offset, so all right. So now that's going to go back on the subframe. All right, thanks for watching the video today. I hope you enjoyed this suspension episode covering the offset caster bushing. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and definitely hit that bell so that you're aware when I put up new videos. And as well, check me out on my other platform, my other social media platform being Instagram, at Wrench Rampage as well. Have a good night.